It is May 12th, 2024. The cartel showed up again today at Walmart 62. Will said she couldn't say anything. He doesn't have that kind of authority, honey. And he confessed he already told on me. On a recorded line. To like 900 people. Like they said, when you even realize how many people he told, she called the FBI hotline. It's not even funny. The bad guys. Then the cartel was in Walmart 62 this morning yelling, "No one's to help a child molester." I'm not a child molester. See, that was their whole backup plan. Their whole backup plan. Stocking tapes. Freaking peeking Tom tapes. I didn't die with 4 attempts, so they having the cartel kick in my door and stalk me. Photoshop washing, I've heard. Photoshopped all their lies. And break in and stab me with date rape, drugs, or roofie a drink, and I don't know they're in my home. And then beat and rape me, leave me covered with bruises, throwing up, heart racing, and a severe personal infection, and they had drugged me up and told me to say wrong nightgown and tushy lie, weirdo stuff, flasher stuff. People have walked up and laughed at me since 18, all the stuff that they drugged me and told me to say, like it's funny that the cartel are violating people in their homes, and I never seen anybody. I thought it was the well water killing me. That's how not funny this is. The well water, before we got a water treatment system, it was so dirty it looked like poop water. I would wash my hands in it after using the bathroom, and I'd take a fast shower in it, and I thought it was making my personal area swell up and then be infected. I even thought it was killing me at one point. And I kept telling the doctor I thought it was the well water. And it's like, I don't know where all these bruises came from. I had orange, lemon, grapefruit. Had hand marks embedded in my arm. And they were bigger than my fingerprints because I'm like, did I squeeze myself? The fingerprints are bigger. They were beat, drug, and raping me under drugs so I wouldn't know what happened. I'd be throwing up, dizzy, almost passing out, including in front of the neighbors by the second week. Where is those vile, sick, criminal acts funny? Photoshop washing, they admitted they taped everybody in the bathroom. People have admitted to seeing my grandkids go in the bathroom that they sold kitty porn of little kids going potty. They admitted they sold me and Dave on porn sites being together. Me showering, going in the toilet. Where's that funny that they're victimizing people like that? And drugging them up and lying they had sodium pentothal reports. That's like them saying they anthraxed me. Sodium pentothal, true serum. It's spy flick movie stuff. That's all it is. It's just made up movie stuff. It's a lethal outlaw drug you actually lie under. It was an anesthetic they were using in surgeries. And it became so dangerous it was shutting down people's airways. And so they outlawed it in the country. And the side effect when you are coming out of it, you'll admit to Pearl Harbor, crimes too, anything they ask you, you'll confess to. You actually lie your ass off under it. It's spy flick movie stuff. They basically were claiming to that federal agent they had something as lethal as anthrax that shuts down your airway. The first month of the case, in front of the cops, now I've got all these undercover cops around me, by Wood Forest, this little old man comes up to me. For every idle word you tell on us, I'll turn it on you. Now I had woke up with a bruise about that big, about the size of a lemon on my leg. Been throwing up that morning. Okay? And I had finally got well enough to go down to Walmart. He's like, you know that bruise on your leg? It's way up on my thigh. I have a long skirt on. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, are you sold? He said, first of all, he came up to me and said, for every idle word you tell on us, I'll turn it on you. I'm like, who are you? You tried to leave Dave. I'll list you a child molester. I'm like, who are you? He's like, you know that bruise on your leg? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, I use sodium pentothal on you. No, he stabbed me with a date rape drug. It's called needling someone. It works faster. It works in less than 45 seconds. They use it in bigger cities and nightclubs. They instead of buying you a drink and roofing you, they just walk up and jab you. He admitted he worked for Dave, and he had drugged me up. He's like, you try to leave Dave, I'll list you a child molester. He said, you know that bruise on your leg? And I'm like, yeah. He said, I use sodium pentothal on you. He said, and you know what you told me? No, I never talked to him. I hadn't seen him. He broke in my house, broke in my bedroom, stabbed me with a date rape drug in my sleep. Said you were wearing this one nightgown. You bent over him properly once, and they accidentally seen your butt, and you had a life of pain because of it. And I'm like, who are you? And he's like, and you tried to leave Dave? I'll list you a child molester for that. I got away from that freak. I went home to a legally booked house. I'm like, Dave always wore the grandma nightgown down to my knees, underwear and a house coat when the grandkids were over. I know that. Leggings, sweater, and a house coat when the grandkids were over. I know that. I said, besides the grandma nightgown down to my knees and some laces I kept for you, I just replaced everything last year. It was my 50th birthday, and I treated myself. He picked out a nightgown I just bought the year before. I said, years ago, we were video chatting, and I couldn't figure out how to hook up the DVD player. And you were telling me how to, and I bent over the TV, and they made fun, and I had the grandma nightgown, underwear, and a house coat on. I know you did. And they went, ooh, Grandma, what's on the back of your legs? Varicose veins. Here, I'll Papa, why get changed? He started laughing. He said, I know they made fun of the back. Ooh, Grandma, what's on the back of your legs? Varicose veins. I got them when I had your daddy. Here, I'll Papa, why get changed? He said, I know. They only made fun of the back of my knees. And I was dressed modestly. I had the grandma nightgown, underwear, and house coat. I know that. I have varicose veins right behind my knees. I got them when I was 17. They only made fun of the back of my knees. What's wrong with this? Like Officer Mark told the North Canton Jackson police, the worst thing you ever did wrong, honey. It's bend over and probably we can wipe that one out because there's nothing to wipe out. What part of that victimized me on ungodly levels? Are people not understanding? I work as a DSP. A DSP is right under a nurse's aide. We do about the same work, but we work in people's homes instead of nursing homes. We go in people's homes, bathe them, change their Depends, spoon feed them, adjust them in bed, help them with their walkers, make sure they take their meds, take their vitals. Then I work as a DSP for the Department of Disability, and I have a certificate through the state of Ohio to pass meds. Had to go to class for it. The FBI had to pass me to work with those clients. That's where on November 13th, 22, I told Danny and Jen that people run around lying on me. And they're saying all this mean stuff. Danny's like, what? Where would they get that? Okay. I said, well, I call them the Pinocchio group. The liar, liar, pants on fire call. She said, well, anybody said you did anything wrong, they would be lying, and their pants would burst into flames as if you would do anything wrong, Karen. They would be lying. They didn't know. I went back on Christmas Eve of 22, where Eric had already confessed November 18th, 22, that all the tapes before were him and not me, and it was done on the first stop for people to turn on me. And they actually filed for it. Ha, 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 ha. Walmart 62. Come in, and he confessed. And the guy's like, if it's only you, I could take care of it. I know it's that bad. And they still fell for it. I asked him if they knew about that jackass. And they said no. I said, did you know on the 6th day up there while we were at the storage unit, somebody kicked in my door to the wall? Yes. Do you remember when Dave said it was another realtor passing out keys? Don't report it? Yes. Did you know they set up behind camera stalking me? And Dave, no. I said, did you know about a shower scene in the other room to make me look weird with myself of washing? No. I said, do you remember the orange, the lemon, the grapefruit sized bruises all over me? And even by the second week when I went out to mow the lawn, I almost passed out in front of the neighbor and mowed the lawn for me. I remember that. And I kept throwing up, dizzy, and almost passing out and showing up with marks. Yes. Did you know they were drugging me up and beating me and telling me to say I was some kind of weirdo before? No. Kids came out of the room. Grandma was like, what's going on? We didn't know. And hugged me. What would that have made them if they put their name on it? An accessory. They didn't know. Thanksgiving of 18. My oldest son, John, his wife was in it with Savannah. And she was going by Michelle. Scamming people. And the kids got caught staying in the basement. They wanted the house for Auntie Shaw and Papa, and Grandma needed to get out. Okay? Later on to Florida, that they made everything up. They were games of pretend, laughing and giggling in the basement. And where I had called the FBI, and Dave complained that I had men around me. Had men and women. So did everybody else for their involvement in this. They found Melissa telling the kids to lie. And on Thanksgiving of 18, that they made everything up. They were games of pretend. Sick, mean games of pretend, I found out. Okay? Flora ratted him out, my granddaughter that was playing with him in the basement. October 23rd, 2019, of course it never happened. Of course it wasn't true. We made it up. They were games of pretend, laughing. I would have spanked him. Pretending shit and laughing at people like that. You gotta teach them right from wrong. I would have marched him in front of the person and told him to apologize now. I didn't put up with shit. My father raised me better. Make them be a good person until they're 18. But the fear of God or the fear of you in them, whatever it takes to make them a good person. Children don't come with sympathy or empathy. Right from wrong, you have to teach it to them. Okay? All right? Flora read them out October 23rd, 2019, how they're mean games of pretend. The police already documented, they're documenting mean games of pretend. I go up to John on Thanksgiving 18. What's going on? I don't know, Mom. He said Melissa, his ex-wife. I told her you're moving out, going through a divorce, and she's probably going to have the kids make up something. But trust me, nobody could say anything bad about you. And she'll probably have the church people make up something too. But trust me, Mom, nobody could ever say anything bad about you. Please tape him. Okay? Dave and I talk about it on a tape. And he defends me. Karen, you're good to the kids, you're good to the grandkids. You're good to everyone, no matter who it is. You'd never hurt anyone. And Melissa needs to stay out of this. And I said, and her dirty little friends. He's like, yeah, everybody needs to stay out of this. Okay? I go to Joshy. I've never hurt you or done anything wrong. I never said you did. My family looked at me like I was stupid. I went to the boys. I've never done anything wrong or bad. That's the truth. I've always been good to you. They were little. Went to the girls. Same thing. People look at me like I'm stupid. I was found innocent of everything in 18. These people were, I was sure, just come in, like they said last Sunday in Longhorn. Do you realize how not funny it is? That she never seen anybody? And could you imagine just coming in and taking a drink in the room, getting dizzy and going black, and then waking up with marks and throwing up and not know what happened to you? How not funny that is? Or waking up with marks that look like injection marks and never seeing anybody? How not funny this is. I'd be outside working. We had 5 acres of land, okay? After you got past the grass, the wooded trees, they opened up and the trees would encase themselves. It was beautiful. It was like a jungle. Somebody, before we moved in, were having like bonfires and stuff back there. There was broken bottles, cans. I had 10-year-old grandkids, a lot of them, and they want to run through that area, so it took me weeks to get all that shit hauled out to the front. Okay, I'd go out there and I'd work, come in, wash my hands, make something to eat and drink, go and use the bathroom, wash my hands better, sit down, take a drink in the room, and go dizzy, and then go black. I'd wake up a few hours later, run to the bathroom, throwing up. I don't remember banging my arm on my leg, and it kept happening. And then my personal area was so swollen I could hardly pee. It's documented by all my family physicians. I had all the signs of being drugged, beaten, and raped. I'd wake up with marks that looked like injection marks, and the same thing. I lost 18 pounds before I called that FBI. And afterwards, the concentration camp that a cult and that cartel set up for me, I lost another 70. I couldn't even keep saliva down. They were keeping me so drugged up there. Okay? And photoshopping and washing, it's not funny they did that. And it's not funny these idiot people are mocking me. Like they said, if she ever moves away, we'll have to tell the local police that the cartel are running scams on people. It's a big scam. It's a big drug scam. They always knew that. One cop was in Longhorn. We always knew that Weird With Yourself, it was a shower scene of washing. That they had photoshopped it. And like one guy said, well, when they said that they drugged her and told her to say it before, you could tell she was all drugged up. Like Officer Mark said way off in the distance in January when the case first started. We found out her ex-husband was keeping her so drugged up, they were drug beating, raping her. And she didn't realize what they were doing. And they said it was some judge up there messed up in the drug cartel and to stay out of it. And we found out it's just some guy saying he's a judge. I kept going to the doctor. I don't know what's wrong with me. Got all these marks. You fall. No, maybe you're coming anemic. We'll get you some iron pills. My muscles are even hurting. Gave me muscle relaxers for the pain. My head's killing me. Gave me stuff for migraines. Throwing up. And then pills and creams for a personal infection. And here I'm being human trafficked out of my own home. The drug cartel was doing it. Where are people making fun of me? Do you want them to scam you like this? Do you want them to run the scam on you? Where is that funny? That the cult, where they have said, Karen's a victim of an occult that drugged her and tried to kill her before. And where Officer Mark told the lady, August 22nd of 23, that it's documented I was framed by the drug cartel, by the police. It's a big frame. That's why last week, or 2 weeks ago in Walmart on the Strip, where that Pam was talking with her granddaughter, Uncle Dave said he had someone tape her before. It was her daughter, Savannah, that her Facebook friend followed her enemy. That's impersonating retired Judge Beaton, beard and wig. It's him, where I always said it looked like that, the guy they call Alex. And a weird and big. I can't even talk today. I'm so upset. A wig and a beard. It is him. It's a guy that followed her enemy, Savannah's Facebook friend. For you know about Savannah. Know of her, I don't know her. What do you mean you don't know her? She's a little 18-year-old kid sits with her parents. Their family went up to that church a long time ago. So they come visit. I know of her, but I don't know her. What do you mean you don't know her? Kaylee. Why would I? Well, you know her old boyfriend was big in drugs. What does that have to do with it? Everything. It's a cartel. Running scams on people. I could go work in a daycare, and the FBI would pass me. For the worst thing you ever did wrong, honey, was bend over improperly. It only made fun of the back of my knees. I was found innocent of everything in 18. See, this is a big scam. See, that's where my one neighbor, Keith, he has a friend on Facebook. And he told me 5 years ago that there was a scam on Facebook, that people, where they were uploading videos to Facebook, they were taking words out of a sentence and other sentences and then retaping over and making it look like you said something you didn't. They were photoshopping like the washing scenes and stuff like that and putting it up on Facebook and setting off hate crimes. I talked to some guy in FedEx. He said, I've heard of them doing that on Facebook. That was 5 years ago. Everything's digital. That's where I talked to police out of this area, or your local police law. We already knew everything's digital. They can Photoshop everything from words to scenes. And roofies are sleepwalking with no memories like LSD. From the 60s, the hippies would take it and walk around and hallucinating and have no memory. The amnesia date rape drugs, they refined them over 60 years. They all know about them. Those amnesia drugs. I even talked to a sheriff in Florida, and he said, those amnesia drugs are so bad, they could have drugged up the people and told them to take down the towers. And they did what they were told. They're mind-controlling drugs. They bragged, the drug dealers, that they could control anybody for 4 to 6 hours. And on a recorded line, I told that agent, someone told on me. It was verified. It was FBI agent John that told on me. Matter of fact, in October, November 21 in Trinity Gospel, some lady started working the case. I don't know who she is. Said, Karen's okay anymore. We found the protected custody case. And the guy said, well, the agent that called her back from the hotline, it was verified by officers. He was the one telling on her at that church before he even spoke to her. Oh, my Lord. And they walk out. It is verified. And he confessed on a recorded line. He told on me. I told him someone told on me. He called me a liar. Okay. I told him about the guy that threatened to knife me at Giant Eagle. You liar. Okay. I told him he tried to kidnap me before. And he's like, you liar. And Terry Coberly let me tape her with her permission. She's seen him. Even if a church person seen him, they would never verify it. Well, she did. Let me tape her with her permission. The police got her recording. I've met with that family in my office. The one I had nothing to do with the traffic accident in 03. Her father was speeding in front of a bunch of people, ran a stop sign and into a semi. In the middle of me having a bunch of surgeries, going to a bunch of crackpots, swelled up like a balloon, everything quit working. I took another doctor to tell me it was the medication making me sick, and they were just ripping off my insurance, getting kickbacks from the drug company, and 9 months slowly getting well. They just made up a reason to kill me. I met with that family in my office that lost their kid in that traffic accident, and I know that they're trying to kill you because you were faking you were sick before. I'm like, and those church people. He said, I met with all of them. What did he just say? He told on me. I said, I really was sick before. It's documented medical malpractice and documented medication errors. I said, I really was sick before, you liar. Was there a camera above a bench when you heard him threaten to knife you? I don't know. He's like, you either say you're lying or arrest you. And then he starts screaming, they'll put me in jail. It's like, fine, whatever. Ha, ha, ha. Now I want you to say you're faking you were sick before. I really was sick. I've met with that family in my office and all those church people. And I know they're trying to kill you because you were faking you were sick and faking you got well while that family was grieving. I don't blame them. And you need to realize what you've done. I said, I really was sick. He's like, you either say it or leave it there. They'll kill me. So they've tried to kill me. So he's aiding and abetting murder. You either say it or leave it there. I start begging for my life. And I'm like, fine, just don't let him kill me. Ha, 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 ha. What he just confessed to, he told on me. I don't have a lot of time. I'm going to have to get going because I got to get to work. But he already confessed on a recorded line. And then he makes fun of me for some guy named Pete. And Pete is Alex in a beard, framing retired Judge Pete. I found out in a washing scene, and he was one of my bruises. They're making fun of me for my rapist that I don't even know who they're talking about on a recorded line. And if you listen to the recorded line, like I said, that we listened to the recorded line, he does talk to her like that, and he does confess to telling on her. I'm going to upload this.